I won't move it.
No, could you actually all of you scoot a little bit more to that direction?
Let's.
I need a little bit more room.
Feels like we're in the
Okay, that's right. Thank you much.
Film noir.
Thank you all for your patience, your infinite patience.
It's pretty tight.
Yeah. This is a historical venue. You'll never be in another place like this and hear music like this, where books surround you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't have anything coming there. Let's see.
Yeah, you're not on. Juice.
Or in which mic are you using? The one that's near Bobby, the straight mic?
Yeah.
No. She's using the other one.
The tall one. Oh,
okay.
yeah. The one I'm in front of.
You want her to use that 58?
I could use this one. Neither of them are on. Okay.
Do it, bring it up.
I know how to do
So
that.
we're going to put you on what's my right here. So that would be.
Except he's going to need this, right?
We'll just use the other one. We'll use the other one.
Speak to me in that one.
Hello?
Yes, excellent.
Eric, can you hear me? If they don't work, I'm going to have to yell.
Whichever one she does.
Hey, stay there. That's roomy.
Yeah.
Woo, woo. Testing. Nothing. Oh, this one is starting to warm up. Can you hear it? Hello? Whoop. Hello? This one is on. This one? Hello, Eric. Yeah, let's get this. Okay. Microphone on. No. Yes. Oh, Eureka, it's on. Hello. Okay. You want this one is on as well. Yeah, you did it, Eric. Shall I lower this down for Bobby again?
Speak into to your right, the right one.
I'm speaking into this one. Hello.
Nice job.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm finished. Okay. Shall I lower this one for Bobby?
Let's see what else here.
Hello.
He's
Number
figuring it out.
5, okay.
He's multitasking.
Number
I think
6,
Eric wants
okay.
to use.
All right.
This one?
Wants you to use that one.
This one.
Yeah.
So,
and
shall-
that one's on the boom is easier for us to use.
Okay. This one this one is on the boom, right?
No, that's
No.
a straight mic.
Oh, okay. So
That one's a boom.
So I should go like this.
You shouldn't do anything with that. I'll take care of it.
Oh. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. It's not my thing.
The show has started.
All right, we're getting there. We're getting pretty close.
And this one here.
We're going to start the recording here.
Take this.
It's going to sound a little rough to the world out there, probably
Oh,
to
right.
start.
Well, it is a rough world, so.
It's a rough world. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see what we need to do.
Okay.
Those are live. So you all were hearing her speak?
Yeah.
Were you getting anything in the monitor?
I didn't even.
Is there anything in the monitor? It sounds like
Yeah.
it to me.
Well,
It sounds like
definitely
it to
there's a
me,
lot in
too.
here.
Yeah.
So let's turn this. What's down? Is that down?
Oh,
Is
the
that any
magic
softer?
of technology.
Yeah, you got something in the monitor. Okay, cool.
Oh,
All right.
wonderful. We're on. Yay!
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to take a little placard down so that the live stream people at home can see them.
Fancy as orchestra.
You can already see them. This is the trio Purple Gums. We have on cornet Bobby Bradford. We have on tuba William Roper. And we have on saxophone Francis Wong. They will be joined by our poet Genny Lim. Since they're in Fort Lloyd, that's America, but more than that, a lifetime of poetry in this region. So you're in for a good show. We got to make sure they get decent sound out there. We're not really amplifying you guys. You're just playing to them. This thing here, there was a consideration of putting it on the tuba, but I don't think we'll bother. I'm gonna put that up to the ceiling, and we'll get a little something. I'll just turn it down probably. I have a room mic there and a room mic here. This should be pointed more at you, kind of like that, and that one, kind of like that. So that's what they're getting in the stream. Thank you, gentlemen.
So I don't want to be too much of a jerk, but if you could remember 2 cups,
2 cups.
thank you so
Damn.
much.
Plastic.
There's always something with these artists. So demanding.
It's for the show. It's all for the show.
It's all for show.
How many cups in a
Glenn
pipe?
said to me once. Glenn said to me once, "No, Roper, you're the only one who comes to performances shows."
Also a pitcher of water. All right. The artiste
Glenn is always fun.
will shake. Just in case you get really reckless, I brought extra cups
Oh,
and an extra bottle of water.
oh.
Francis only obviously cares about your hydration, but I brought cups and water enough for everyone.
Francis doesn't drink what we do.
No. Okay.
Bobby,
Yes.
take your cup.
A cup for you.
Thank you.
They work best if you turn them over. All right, there's more cups.
Wonderful.
There's more cups. There's a pitcher of water here. There's a little recording device I did not kick over right there. Right.
Yay.
Okay, I'm afraid we're out of time. The show's canceled. There's one seat in the middle here. That's about it. I'll find a couple for you to read here. Y'all without reservations are just going to have to go back there probably now.
Just in
Then
case.
take down the placard, as we call it here in the biz. That would be this one. Now you are visible, pouring your juice. And are you audible?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, I bet you are. I bet you are. Okay, so you guys can.
Oh, I can't take it right now, Bob.
You're
Just
ready.
set it down by you.
The world is ready for you when you're ready for the world.
Okay,
So we're on?
so while Bobby and Bill do the libations, I'll welcome you all.
Why
So
don't somebody hand you that mic off that stand? The middle one. It's often easier. It has
yeah,
to be your foot.
I can just stand up. I'll stand.
There you go.
So thank you everybody for coming. It's really beautiful. This concert is in memory of our dear friend Glenn Horiuchi. Thank you, all of you who remember him or have a remembrance of something about him. And he was a dear friend and a composer, activist, multi-instrumentalist, and really thoughtful person, or mindful in that way. And let me see, today is his birthday, and he would have been, what?
67.
67 today. And let me see, we do these concerts every now and then because as some of you know, I founded Asian Improv Arts with John Jang, who's sitting over there. And very soon after we founded Asian Improv Records, Glenn joined the crew and released a lot of albums with us. And with us today are Edna Horiuchi and their son Kenzo Horiuchi. And I'm also aware that the international Horiuchi family is, what do you call it, streaming in, or whatever the word is. And this group, Purple Gums, we, in a lot of ways, came together. Well, we performed together for the first time at at Glenn's funeral. And so, because Bobby was one of Glenn's heroes, and is still, and Bill and I played with Glenn's band.
Unit A.
Yeah, Unit A for about 6 years, about 6 years before Glenn passed. And so we, do feel like we're, that's part of the vibe we're carrying forward. And I also want to recognize that we have a few activists from back in the day in the Japanese American community for redress and reparations. And there's always a great feeling about Glenn in the room. So we're going to celebrate Glenn's creativity and commitment, and as well as we all did it together, right? And actually, a lot of you guys, we've all done this together. So we have a special guest, Genny, who's going to come up and read from Glenn's manuscript that was edited by Edna. But I think what we'll do is we'll break the silence here a little bit with Bill and Bobby, and then we'll invite Genny to come on up. Okay, thank you very much. This is Glenn's flute.
Wow.
Bodaciously?
Yeah, bodaciously. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Know what I'm saying?
Bodaciously. Thank you to Edna for sharing Glenn's writings with us, which we're going to read selections, or I'm going to read some selections from Glenn's writings. November 9th, 1999. Cats crawling out of the mud to dry ground. Please give me your hand. Yes, it is very easy in this practice to get attached to our insights and attainment. Our piece, Zen, is not about states of mind or abstract understanding. As Namchon said, Zen is everyday mind. But what is everyday mind? When tired, just rest. When hungry, just eat. When someone else is hungry, feed them. So koans are just a way to practice our lives. Each koan presents its own situation which we must respond to. Yes, first we must return to the one without that center. Then we simply are pulled around by our desires and delusions. So this is the meaning of Lin Chi's shout, Tokusan's hit. But from that place, we must perceive and act. Sniff, sniff, pulling others out of the mud. Kenzo accompanying his daddy to chemotherapy so he won't be lonely. It is not enough to just sit on our cushions. Our direction must be clear. Still dancing, Glenn. November 12, 1999. This life is so very short and precious. This is particularly clear to me in my battle with cancer, but everyone on this list must face death, perhaps sooner than later. There's no need to trade places with me. We are all in the same boat. So, how long are we going to go around living in a dream, controlled by our desires and delusions, following our opinions? Must we all wait for a life-threatening illness before we answer this question, what am I? When we leave the planet, we take nothing with us. All our prized possessions, ideas, approval of others will be gone. So why not live right now? Let go of all your opinions, your condition, your situation. Just let it all go and embrace this moment as it is, with nothing added. Then our life and actions become clean. And we will not have lived this precious life in vain. November 13, 1999. Learning to be alone is very important. I've been fortunate to have been very isolated as a child, so I learned that lesson early. First, I was Japanese in an all-white neighborhood and schools. I made some friends, but hostility and isolation were always present as well. Then I became asthmatic and was told not to engage in physical play. For a little boy, physical play is the primary means of socialization. So I used to spend recess and phys ed sitting under trees, just watching the leaves rustle in the wind. So maybe this laid the foundation for my sitting practice now. Haha. November 18, 1999. Wonderful. Just like this. So simple, isn't it? Yet all our thinking gets in the way. Congratulations. The only thing we would add in my school is before shaking the bell, maybe hitting the floor. This demonstrates that place before thought. Hit the floor and everything becomes one. Just the sound of the hit. This is the most basic answer to every koan. Return to the one. But from there, we must open our eyes and perceive and respond to the truth. So then, ding, ding, ding. November 20th, 1999. Yesterday, so tired and sick. This morning, going to retreat. My wife is worried, but I must see my teacher. Going to interview, facing impossible koan once more. Just don't know. Answer appears. Correct. Returning to my cushion, I weep in gratitude. Returning home, my wife is worried. I reassure her everything is well. Kenzo hands me his new ball. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And he smiles. He smiles. Best, Glenn. Glenn passed away quietly at home on the morning of June 3rd, 2000. Glenn's celebration of life memorial service was held on June 7th, 2000. It was held in the social hall at our Mother of Good Counsel Church. Glenn had been a pianist at the church's weekend masses, a job he held for many years. Despite the short notice in the weekday service, the social hall was overflowing, just like now. There was chanting by Glenn's Zen teachers, performances by the church choir, and Glenn's shamisen students, family, and friend remembrances, and a stunning jazz jam session by his musician friends. It was a memorable program, one that Glenn would have been proud of. It ended with a closing by Glenn's sister, Akimi. Glenn wore many hats. He was a husband, a father, a music instructor, a community activist, a jazz musician and composer, a Zen teacher, film scorer, and a shamisen apprentice. He wore all his hats with enthusiasm and dedication, with a desire to challenge himself and the ability to charm his audiences. Glenn remained true to his music, committed to his vision of expressing his ideas and feelings through his compositions. He was passionate about the hardships of working class people, the struggle against racism, his ties to the Japanese American culture and community, and his love for his family. His sense of fun, many silly moments, and that unique laugh will be painfully missed. As a child, he would often say, "I'm waiting for the Martians to take me to outer space, so be nice to me or I won't take you with me." Well, whether in outer space or in heaven, Glenn, we'll see you again as our friend, as our teacher, as our husband, as our father, as our son, as our nephew, as our cousin, as our brother. We'll see you again, and it will be sweet. Edna. What is enlightenment? Sudden enlightenment and gradual cultivation, same or different? The Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree for 49 days and attained enlightenment. Hunang never sat, only heard a phrase from the Diamond Sutra and attained enlightenment. So why do you do sitting meditation? Perhaps if we can answer these without resorting to explanations or falling into delusion and dualism, the how to get enlightenment may become a little clearer. Ha 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 ha!
Would you like to do up from the minors? Yeah. How about another hand for Genny Lim? And another hand for Glenn Horiuchi, who edited that. So we're of course honored to have one of our most revered mentors here performing today, Bobby Bradford. And Bobby has recently done a major project about the baseball player and legend Jackie Robinson. So maybe we're going to play a little bit from that, and I think the CDs are available. We have some. And actually, Bobby, would you like to say something?
Yes.
Here you go. Huh?
Porque no?
Bobby Bradford.
Thank you so much. I'm not standing, and I don't mean to be discourteous here, but we get to an age where, I have to conserve the energy. William, how old will I be my next birthday? 8. Right.
Just like the keys on this piano.
I hate to even say it. But thank the Creator for continuing this thing for me. I had the good fortune in 2019 to be approached by a group, a non-profit group of people in Los Angeles. Some of you may know this guy who died about a year ago, Terry Cannon, who was the founder of the Pasadena Film Forum, which morphed into the LA Film Forum. He was a librarian, and among other things, he loved baseball. So he founded a group called the Baseball Reliquary. That's a real word. And he approached me one day, and we were in Bank of America standing in the line, and he said, this would be 2019. Tell me if I talk too long here, William, right? That's too long, brother.
Okay. That's not possible.
So he said, and I won't go into it, but there's a thing about Jackie Robinson in Pasadena and how they were quite well on the same page. That's a place where he grew up from early childhood, he and his brother Mac. But this guy Terry Cannon I'm talking about, he organized this group called Baseball Reliquary, and what they were interested in, of course, is baseball stat, who hit the first, biggest home run, who caught the ground ball to the right, with his toe, and on and on and on. Great, wonderful group. But he also he loved jazz. And he said jazz music and baseball, that one thing they had in common is that they both were Americana. And I said, hey, man, that's right. The community that I grew up in, however, in Texas, baseball in Dallas, for me as a kid, it wasn't much. Neither of the two black high schools had a baseball team, but football, and basketball in Texas, they were big. So I said, I like baseball, but there was no place for us to go. There was a minor league team in Dallas called the Dallas Rebels, and they had a small section for colored if you wanted to go to their games. All of that. We won't go into that. So he said, Jackie Robinson's centennial was coming up. He was born in 1919. This will be his 100th year. And we were over into the year. He said, it looks like the city of Pasadena is not going to do anything to acknowledge it. And so he said, well, I intend to. And I'd like to commission you to write a piece, he said, in honor of Jackie Robinson's 100th birthday. And we went on and on and on and on. He said, but I've been diagnosed with bile duct cancer. He says, now, when I come, when the surgery is over, if I'm still able, we want to get together, and I want you to write a piece. And I'd known this guy for 20 years. He used to come to the little club I had in Pasadena called a Little Bighorn. I knew him. And so he said, I want you to write a piece dedicated to Jackie Robinson. I said, now, Terry, you know what kind of music I play, man. I'm not going to write Take Me Out to the Ball Game or stuff like that. He said, oh, no. Jackie Robinson's life wasn't about any take me out to the ball game. He said, I want you to respond to what you feel about this guy's life and what you know about him. And of course, I had to do some research, too. Anyhow, so he survived the surgery, an 11-hour surgery. He lost a lot of weight, but he's back on it. About 3 months later, he said, you want to get back on this? And so I said, yeah, let's go for it. And we talked and talked and talked, and he said, I want the piece to take up like the first part of a program, because the back half would be dedicated to other stuff about specifically baseball. So he said, now what are you going to call this piece? And this is God's truth. I said, I'm going to call it Stealing Home, right? And he said, where'd you get that? I said, well, there it is. That's a big thing about him in his career. One of the things is that not only he, but lots of others, this guy had the nerve to steal home plate against the Yankees.
Yeah.
And Yogi Berra, right? So I said, I knew who this guy was. When he made his debut with the Dodgers, April 15, 1947, I was in elementary school in Dallas, Texas, East Dallas. And I remember it very well, because we didn't even broadcast the game, but we knew what was coming up, because here's our brother is going to show these white people that we can play baseball. As if they don't know we can play baseball. A game with a stick and a ball, and you hit it and run. You don't think we can play that? But you see, the burden is on Jackie Robinson that day. And stop me, William. You know how this is kind of going on.
I already told you when you asked.
I love telling this story. So he said...
You want to hear more, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm going to tell it anyway. Because this guy said to me, now, how will you get started on this? I said, well, there's always a formula, for sitting down writing music with somebody. I said, I could just take whatever letters out of his name that are on the staff. That'll be an A and a C and an E like that. And that's all. Da 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 da. I said, well, I would have done that as a 12-year-old, right? I said, I'm gonna have to sit down and do some research on this guy and see if I can get in his head. Then I go back to him, you see, in Pasadena, where he could only swim in the swimming pool in Pasadena on Tuesdays and Latinos on Thursdays. And they drain the pool afterwards. Sorry. But sitting down at the piano and saying these things to myself and looking at the stuff about it, then I start to get into who this guy was. He's getting a taste, he didn't know it, of what it was going to be like when he got out there and tried to get into Major League Baseball, like the first black. So I went to the library and did what I could. I knew some about this guy, some of the things he had done, and how he worked his way up through the minor leagues, and how the Dodgers signed him, and the guy that interviewed him said, "Now you're going to have to take a lot of flack, man, and you can't fight back," and blah blah blah. And so we somehow had gotten the idea over the years that Jackie Robinson was a kind of humble pie, when in fact he was a very aggressive, in-your-face athlete. At Pasadena City College, he lettered in football, track, basketball, ping pong too, right? I don't know if they gave him a little, but he was super bad ping pong player. Then when he went to UCLA, and he was a superstar at UCLA in football, lettered in track, and I think set a long jump record at UCLA. Now the stuff's getting ready to hit the fan now. So he gets drafted, gets sent to Texas. Takes boot camp. He turns out to be quite an accurate marksman with the M1 rifle. Now, there's not an M2 and a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 16, in case you're thinking that. But there was an M1, same kind I had in boot camp. And he was a really good soldier. So now, this is the point at which there are a lot of black soldiers, but very few black officers. So Jackie somehow gets to be commissioned after a 90-day thing of preparation for, he becomes a second lieutenant. And sure as heck, and I'm trying to condense this a little bit, he's gonna, after he's gotten his bar on his shoulder, and he's a commissioned officer, and he gets on the bus on the military base there in Texas. I think it's Fort Hood, maybe someplace in Texas. And the driver on the bus tells him, because he sits about halfway back and sits next to a woman that, as the story goes, she looked white. It turned out to be somebody that Jackie Robinson knew. But anyway, the bus driver, a civilian, tells Jackie, well, you can't sit next to her, and you can't sit this far to the front of the bus. Go to the back. Jackie Robinson said, oh, no. You talking to Second Lieutenant Jackie Robinson. I'm a commissioned officer now. I'm not going to the back of any bus. This guy called the air police and all this stuff. They arrested him and court-martialed him. However, he was found not guilty. But he found it appropriate to apply for, after all of that, honorable discharge from the military and return the commission and all and leave the Army, which I think they were happy to do just to keep the waters down. Anyhow, so Jackie Robinson right there is getting a taste. Now, this is 10 years before Rosa Parks. You know that, right? So Jackie furthered his career after he leaves the Army, going around trying to play baseball and with minor leagues teams, et cetera, et cetera. And so most of you know the rest of that. Branch Rickey at that time decided this was the point where they were going to try to bring black people into Major League Baseball, and there was just an outrageous tsunami against any idea of a black player. And the big state they said was, we have these guys playing if they could play well enough. Are you crazy? A stick and a ball, and you run and hit it and jump, and what it requires is strength, dexterity, hand and eye coordination. What else is left, William?
That sounds pretty stereotypical to
Yeah,
me.
yes, me too.
Yes.
Right. And so anyhow, as a story, you know the rest of that. Well, he made his debut on April 15th, 1947. And so when I start to put this piece together, and I'm sitting down at the piano trying to get my head into it now, and I didn't do that A-C-E from his name, but I did use his last name for the percussive nature of his last name, like Robinson. So I fooled around the piano and finally wrote a piece, the centerpiece for this thing. We're not going to play that tonight because that involved the whole band. But it went, Robinson, Robinson, hit that ball, that son of a gun. Now I just made that up right now. So I want something for that, William. Did you hear what I just did? Right. So anyhow, so the rest of the pieces relate to this guy's career. Now we're going to play one piece here called Up from the Minors. But the other pieces in the suite, one was called Stealing Home, another one Up from the Minors, and another one 0 for 3. And I won't talk anymore after this. Now here, all of Black America is waiting to hear what happened with him in that first game. He's up at bat 3 times. And what is it? 0 for 3. The next day, the white newspaper said, see there? He failed. We told you this guy couldn't play in this. Now, this guy doesn't get a hit, but he gets on base and scores the winning run. Now, there's the irony. He laid a bunt down for baseball fans down the first base line, right? Wow. And so who's going to field that ball now? If it's short, the catcher's job. If it goes out too far, if the first baseman comes for it, then the pitcher's got to cover first. You see what, right? So they made a mistake, the guy trying to throw him out at first, and the ball hit Jackie's shoulder. So he gets on base on an error. Steals second, and then somebody hits the ball, he comes in and scores the run that wins the game. I'll shut up now. So now we're going to play Up from the Minors, or a fragment of it. Thank you so much for your indulgence. I'm going to call Jackie up from the minors now, like this. Mm-hmm. And the people down there in the minor leagues are going to answer me. What I just played, they're going to say it back. Then I'm going to say it again. Somewhere in Florida for spring training.
Negro. 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 That's my cousin Tommy. He says Negro. My mother taught me that Negro was a bad word. Negro was a bad word. But Jackie played in the Negro League. He didn't play in the African American League. He didn't play in the African Diaspora League. He didn't play in the National Association of Colored People League. No, he played in the Negro League. Why was that? Because he was as much of a Negro as you and me. And being a Negro didn't stop him. It tried to stop him. But Negroes can't be stopped. They like cockroaches. They know how to run and hide. They know all the little holes and cracks and nooks and crannies all in the neighborhood. Ask someone in LAPD. Ask someone in the Pasadena PD, where Jackie was from. He didn't mind being a Negro. He didn't mind riding a bus. The problem was moving on the bus. Jackie, hit that ball. If you have to punt, that's okay, 'cause Mama made that cake. The punt cake. No, that's not what it was, but it was round and it had ridges. Ridges matter, like ruffles. Ruffles have ridges. Oh, Jackie Robinson, who do you think you are in this world that is not for you? Somehow you think that you are a part of it. Somehow you think that you don't have to follow the rules. That is why all of us, all around, all hues, all backgrounds, we respect you, Jackie, 'cause you hit a ball with a stick. The whole stick thing kind of bothers me. The ball, the stick. I know Mr. Bradford is respectful, but still, Jackie was a Negro. And then you start talking about balls and sticks? Come on. Come on. Oh, Jackie Robinson, what will you do when Uncle Sam calls calling you? Come on up to the plate, Jackie Robinson. Look at that ball. It's coming at you. It's coming at you. It's coming at you. Swing or punt. Sometimes the man has to punt.
We have some CDs for sale. I only brought.
They're out there, man.
Oh.
Would you like a microphone?
No. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We've got about 10, and we'd like to sell them.
So maybe we should take a little break, a CD buying break.
Yeah, let's see where I set those CDs. Are they sitting right here somewhere?
Actually, I'll put them over there someplace.
Yeah, once
Some
upon a time
on the
they got
piano,
set
somewhere.
right there somewhere. Huh.
So while we're getting that, one of the tunes on there, I'll just play a little of it.
Here
The
they are
band
behind you.
is a group in Los Angeles that I've had for a long time called the Motet. There's some of the people from the original group where we used to play at LACMA a lot. Williams on there, and Don Preston, the guy that we associate with Frank Zappa.
He's older than Bobby.
Yes, Don's 89. Still play. Had Henry Franklin on bass. We had a woman who's the
Tina.
Tina Raymond, who's the jazz studies chair at
Northridge. Cal State
UC Northridge now, and Vinnie Golia. Some many of you know who that works at Cal Arts, woodwind player.
He's a white guy.
Yeah. And, is that everybody?
No.
Who else?
The spaceman. The spaceman, Caltech. Not Caltech, you know. NASA.
Chuck Manning.
Chuck Manning.
Yeah, Chuck Manning playing tenor saxophone. Also wonderful musicians in the Los Angeles area. Sorry. And that's a band that usually played about once a year until COVID at LACMA on those Friday concerts. Wonderful group of musicians. I was very fortunate to be able to get them all in the same room at the same time. So are we taking a break now?
Yeah, why don't we take a little break?
Okay.
It's been 48 minutes.
We'll take a little break.
wife. I don't even remember me. It's a friend of his. How you doing? You were in the mailroom, weren't you? Right. You were in the stores. I was in stores. You were in stores with John. Actually, no. Oh, yeah. You were in hospital. Of course. When was that? A lot of things. But I heard about him when I was a student in Oberstdorf. So I was in the conservatory.
Yeah. Okay. I think was that house speaker a little loud on the first set? Should I bring it down a little bit? Okay. Is it still a little loud like that? Should I bring it down from that level? I'll do that. What about the monitor? Is that okay with you guys? All right.
William was a little close on the mic.
Yeah. Okay.
That was on purpose.
Boy, I tell you.
If you can't handle it, you can go.
All right, so yeah, so I'm going to bring that level down a little bit. What else? What else? Everybody happy and comfortable? You enjoying the show? All
I
right.
say that in love.
Okay then. So as I told William, when this mic isn't being used, let's keep it a little to the side one way or the other so we can see Francis's beautiful visage there.
Francis? He ain't nobody.
That one, we're worried about that one for you.
Yeah, straight. I'm not worried anymore.
No. So it doesn't matter which direction it goes, just as long as it's not dead center. I'm going to put it over there. Put it down below like I did before, but I think they were just a little off to the side. And then when Jenny moves it, move it a little more to the center. All right.
Jenny's gonna come up and down. Thank you so much. She feels.
You're going to do a little more? Okay, good.
Feel free.
Thank you very much. The second set is about to begin.
Well, it could be the second inning.
I'm not into football.
Or round 2.
Or after the seventh inning stretch.
Or or it could be considered the third quarter. All right, thank you very much, and thanks for staying with us. It's a beautiful thing. So, yeah, we are Purple Gums, and we have our special guest, Genny Lim, who I will invite up to do a little bit more. A hand for Genny Lim. Are you using this one or that one?
Whichever one I should use. Yeah, okay. I always forget to take this off. Yeah, it was a great honor to have met Glenn, first of all, and then thanks to Francis and Asian Improv Arts to actually get to record with him. And I always appreciated his brilliance and spontaneity. I was doing a poem, and I think it was describing butterflies, and all of a sudden he leapt out of his piano stool and went over there. We were recording in a church, the Pine Methodist Church, and he started shaking this curtain. It was like a plastic curtain, and I turned around. You know, I was startled at first, and then I realized this is, you know, he's sort of like Roper. You know, you never know what he's going to do next, right? You never know what a Roper's going to do next, and I think that's a wonderful quality. It's a very Zen quality. So that was Glenn. This is a poem I wrote for him, A Day of Remembrance, for Glenn Horiuchi, February 27th, 1955 to June 3rd, 2000. The shamisen strings are silent. They await the touch of your fingers. But you don't care because the music is everywhere, on your skin, your hair, on the rim of your eyeglasses. Each note is always the last note. Shikantaza, through and through. Material desire exhausts itself. Like the dewdrop, you sit on the petal without losing its fragrance. Yes, you gotta sit on that zafu and listen to the stringless lute. Bar after bar, beat after beat. Divining notes from memory,
strumming, strumming, till the melody empties itself of beginning and end. Gospel Sundays at the Black Church, where you pump the organ for the believers. Mondays with the students who sometimes didn't give it their all. Jazz critics who seemed never to get it, and loved ones who waited and waited for another encore, till your silence was drained of Zamai, past, present, future, sound, Enzo, breath, sound, Enzo, breath. Money pay me, oh 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 money pay me, oh. Einstein decoded the sutras and tantras. E equals MC2. Energy and mass are of one thing and can change one to the other. Outer space is inner space. Inner space is outer space. Outer space is inner space. Inner space is outer space. Form is emptiness and emptiness form. Emptiness is memory and memories are shadows cast in the footprints of time. Without memory, there is no history. Without history, there is no self to suffer the wounds of our losses in our flesh, in our hearts. History ain't big enough or long enough to carry our caskets of collateral despair to the march of battling hymns, to the war drums beating from the armies of profit and illusion. Bharata, Genghis, Alexander, Caesar, Napoleon, Hitler, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, Ukraine, like footprints in space, like footprints in sand, the smoke of burning empires racing to extinction. E equals MC2, E equals MC2, E equals MC2. There's no birth, no death, no birth, no death, no death, no birth. The white lotus rises. The white lotus rises from the ashes of karma, from the ashes of karma, from the charnel ground of sorrow, the cemetery of sorrow. The fallen awaken in the resolute dawn to grieve, sing, love, love, love. Memory. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Gate, parasangate, bodhisattva. Gate, paragate, slow. Bodhi, svaha, gone to the other shore, 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 to the other shore, to the other shore. Swim, paragate, parasamgate, bodhi, svaha. So like the moon reflected on water, so like the lamp shining in the darkness, may all beings awaken to the light of their true nature illuminating the sky like countless stars reflected in one dewdrop on a blade of grass. Thank you.
Let's have Jenny do another one.
Yes.
Is Jenny getting paid? Do another one.
Hey, man, artists never get paid. What's it? We do it for the love of
Speak
art.
for yourself,
right?
Miles.
Hey, thank you for paying your cover charge. And we're going to put out this so you can pay them more. So yeah, they're covered.
Hey, I'm going to read one more thing from Glenn. Oh, this will help. Did I read this already? No. November 18th, 1999. Wonderful. Just like this. So simple, isn't it? Yet all of our thinking gets in the way. Congratulations. The only thing we would add in my school is before shaking the bell. Oh, I've read this one before, but what the hell? You need to learn. Hey, we got to let it sink in our minds. Our minds are stubborn. We got to do that again and again. Yeah. Last night, phone mom. She cries and asks if I'm depressed. I say, never. And she's relieved, feeling sick and weak. I retire to bed. Mind lingers on thoughts of the future, and sadness enters my heart. Will I be here for Christmas? Will I see Kenzo's 5th birthday? Opening my eyes, evening breeze brushes my cheek. Moonlight illuminates the bedroom wall. What is enlightenment? What is enlightenment? Are you aware? Are you mindful? Are we mindful? Is Putin mindful? Is Biden aware? Are our leaders mindful? Are our leaders aware? Are our leaders compassionate? Are our leaders filled with compassion and loving kindness?
Jackie Robinson hit a home run.
Robinson, he hit that ball, he hit a home run, and that ain't all. Oh yeah, he was a hero. The brother was
I don't care what your mama said. I don't care what your daddy said. It ain't about them, it's about you and it's about me. I don't know your daddy, even though I met him, but he ain't nobody to me. And your mama, I'm somewhat thankful to her because it's because of her you are here. I guess that's also true of your daddy. But your daddy didn't do any more than, well, I don't know. He could have been 30 seconds of work. He could have been, what did he call himself? The hour man. My mama, whatever your mama told you, it could be anything, but I wouldn't count on its veracity. Oh yes, your father, he said he was the 60-minute man. He said he was the 60-minute man, but I think he was bragging because your mama didn't expect you to be there. She was expecting the 60 minutes because that's what he said. So she acted in a certain way, but all of a sudden it was 30 seconds. And she wasn't prepared for that, and there you were. But all I'm saying to you is, I love you.
Last night, night before, 24 robbers at my door. I got up and let them in and hit them in the head with a rolling pin.
That's an old man.
Very old.
That's an old man talking shit. Old people talk shit. I know this because now I'm an old person. And I talk a lot of shit. And I know I'm talking shit. That's why when he talks, I don't pay much attention because he's talking shit. I know he ain't got nothing on me no more. this morning, and suddenly, without warning, the blues walk in and circled round my room. The blues walked in and circled round my room. But little did the blues know that my walls were painted red. Red, the color of passion. Red, the color for the passion. The blues walked in and circled round my room and looked up at the red, and the red fought back. Fight back, always fight back. The red is fighting, the red has always fought all the time. But the blue is just a little gentle. I'm talking to the blue among you. Stand up and fight. Stand up and fight. We're not going to defeat the red, but maybe the blue can blend with the red and we can be purple. We need to be purple because we live in America. The red, the white. Of course, white is not a color. You know white is not a color. The red, the white, and the blue. We can come together. And you know what? The red and the blue, that's purple. But if we put the red and the blue with the white, that's lavender. That's lavender. And everybody on this stage is lavender. It's time for the Lavender Revolution. Old people ruling the world, and that's kind of the problem, isn't it? The old people ruling the world. They didn't do so well when they was young, but now they're old and they still want to rule. I'm ready to rest myself. I'll just take a hot dog from down the street, a little pickle relish, a little onion, a little mustard. No ketchup, because that ain't right. Ketchup ain't right, it's red. It's red, that ain't right. Say hallelujah. Say hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Does anybody want to know why we're called purple gum?
Yeah.
Too bad.
I think Bobby has that. You have to answer.
I've told this story so many times. I think
Microphone.
William should tell this story. We get it all the time, and I always answer.
Actually, Mr. Bradford, when you told the story, I was going to go to the... I have a bladder issue. So you tell the story.
Take your time with that story.
The first response to most people, in fact, one critic.
Bobby.
Ah, do I need this, right?
Hollywood, man.
Right.
Just because you're up north. Hollywood goes from Vancouver to
Yes.
Tijuana.
All right.
All the folks out there in Birdland, listening from the internet.
That's right.
Well, to begin with, it has nothing to do with gingivitis.
You need to tell them what gingivitis is.
Well, everybody knows what gingivitis is. Now takes us back now. Let me see the hands of the people now who know the word Ipana. All right. See the ones that don't know now, what are they talking about? That was that sort of yellowish toothpaste, wasn't it? That from the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Use Ipana toothpaste.
Yes, right. So this has nothing to do. Now, often when we do things like this, it's like we do this for shock effect, but we do not. So purple gums has nothing to do, at least in the black community, with gingivitis. Just like motherfucker has nothing to do with any kind of incestuous relationship with anybody's mother. But if you're from Scarsdale, you might think that. The black community, that has nothing to do with your mother or any sort of abnormal relationship. That's a totally different meaning in the black community. So in this purple gums, it makes some people a little uncomfortable when we talk about it, but if you look at black people closely and you have some black friends, the darker our skin gets, the more purple and bluish is the gum tissue. But if you don't know anybody except for 20 feet away, black, you've never seen it. So you're certainly not going to come up to me and ask me, Bradford, pull down your lip and let me see your gums. Of course, I don't have any problem with that. But you see, think about it. If you're really Scandinavian white, your gum tissue is really pink, isn't it? But I think what Mother Nature would do if your skin was black, like coal dust, your gum tissue certainly wouldn't be pink, would it? Mother Nature doesn't do that. The gum tissue gets darker. And the black people in the South often refer to it as either purple gums or blue gums. And so on one of our CDs, was it the first one, Francis? We did a routine about that. William was telling a story about he saw this lady in the bar and he thought, oh man, in the expression, I think I'm going to go and hit on this sister. Hit upon her. Sorry. And he said, when I got close, man, she had these purple gums. Well, of course, an insider would know he's telling a story now for people who are somehow offended by that on some level, whatever that means. It's like saying, how many saw the Chris Rock film, Good Hair? That's too bad. Now, what does that mean in the black community if somebody says, well, Chester over there? Talking about the black community. Say, well, yeah, the guy with the good hair. What does that mean?
Straight.
Good hair. Right? Like white people, right? Straight. So Chris Rock's little, 5-year-old came in the house one day. Now, Chris said, I'm surrounded by rich people. I'm rich. I live in a rich community. My daughter is totally insulated from any kind of thing that would be offensive toward black people. So his daughter comes in the house one day and says, Daddy, how come I don't have good hair? Oh. So you see, there's not enough money if you're black to buy you out of somebody identifying you with some property, physical property. Kinky hair, blue gums, thick lips. You see, there was a point in consciousness where we had to get over that, didn't we? That makes a lot of people uncomfortable. When you get to a point where you say, like James Brown said, I'm black and I'm beautiful. I'm black all over. Want to see? I'm sorry. Right? So the issue about William goes on, and you can go online and get purple gums if you want. And so when we talk about that, for people who have not heard the recording, one critic had the nerve to try to review the record, and he went to gingivitis on it. You have to always do your homework, don't you? You'd really be embarrassing after that. So that's enough on that, isn't it? We got it now. Purple gum. Except that now in the South, Mississippi, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, all those places, the other group would often say something really offensive about this black man. We like his hair, saying it's like a Brillo pad. And you see now, if you were, in fact, a black man who was ashamed of his hair, you got some homework to do. Or if you were ashamed of your gum tissue. So that's what William addresses on this album. So now you'll have to go and buy it, won't you? So thank you very much for your attention there. William, are you back? Yes. Purple gums.
Oklahoma. MISSIPP, which I just did, but I washed my hands.
crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I. That's it. M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter.
M-I-S-S.
I, crooked letter, another I-S-S. Then I, humpback, that's a P. Humpback I.
M-I.
Crooked letter.
S-S.
I-S-S.
P-P.
Left out the other. Repeat the S's.
I-S-S-I-P-P-I.
Two I.
M-I-S-S. I-S-S-I.
William failed the first grade.
We.
But they promoted him.
You shouldn't mess with me, man. The first grade was very important to me in my life. You laughing, but it ain't funny. It ain't funny, because when I got to first grade, everything was all right till we had a substitute teacher. And she called the roll. And she got down, she went down and she finally said, William Roper. And everybody looked around. And I looked around. And somebody else said, not me, because I was really confused. This is the first and only identity crisis I've ever had in my life. I looked around, and someone else said, we have a Tommy Roper in here, but there's no William Roper. She said, well, I have William Roper down here. I said, well, I'm Tommy Roper. She said, well, I'm going to mark you here. And then I went home. And I guess I should say, I was raised, like many people, but especially black people of a certain time. Who was it? Was it Rockefeller or Moynihan? He started talking about black families. Anyway, I was benign neglect. I was raised by extended family. Anyway, I went home to my great aunt and uncle, Aunt Ora. Now that's a name from nowhere, from out of town. Although I know a guy named Ora as well. He was the brother of Willard McMichael. I know you guys don't care about that, but that's too bad because I have a microphone. Anyway, I said, what is this William Roper stuff? And they said, oh, your name is William. Now this is first grade, so I'm already 6 years old. I didn't know that my name was William because my middle name is Thomas, the twin. Or some people might say duplicitous. Can't trust twins.
Doubting Thomas.
The doubting Thomas, if you come from a certain, background. Because Thomas said, you said you're who? Didn't you just die? I saw you die.
So you couldn't come back from that. But I saw.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to see the
I got to see. Let me see it.
I gotta see the hole in your hand.
Doubting Thomas.
I gotta see the hole in
This is why I never accept anything this cat says. Because my name is Thomas. So I didn't know my name was William until the first grade. I don't know how we got there. Will you guys play something? I'm doing this to get us into some shit. All right. That's better. Now that is some derivative shit, isn't it? Da-dee, da-dee, da-da-da-dee. Da-dee, da-dee. Be original, man. Be an individual. Be yourself. Who are you?
Thank you very much for coming. We enjoyed ourselves. I'm speaking for the band, and I don't care what they really think. We enjoyed ourselves, and this is for Glenn Horiuchi. Glenn? What's up?
All right, Eric.
Yeah. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so
Again,
much.
for coming out. Feel free to get a CD, the Jackie Robinson CD. Feel free to throw a little extra love the musicians away. I think Asian Improv Arts probably was instrumental in getting these folks up for Glenn Horiuchi's birthday observance, and we're really pleased to be able to host it here. So, and thank you for paying your cover. That helps us pay a guarantee to these guys. But a little extra money for traveling, that's always nice if you got it in your pocket. So, thank you.
Thank you so
Bradford.
much. For those of you who have the CD, I'm getting you started on a tune on there. It's called Stealing Home. It's built on Rob and Son. I'm going to play a little bit for you. You say, oh, he'd only played this 2 or 3 times in public when this thing came out. I was there. Robinson, hit that ball and away he run, oh yeah. He was our hero. The brother was bad. The brother was bad. Thank you very much. I'm enjoying this song. Tremendous. I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
This is, at the point where we got together, I was seriously considering